I hadn't intended to overhear anything, but betrayal has a way of finding you even when you're trying to stay invisible. I was passing the kitchen, still half asleep, when my mother's voice cut sharply through the air. Good. The decorators arrive Friday. The vineyard will be perfect for the ceremony. My vineyard, $3.1 million. Years of sweat baked under the sun, nights spent battling frost and pests. Every ounce of effort poured into this land. Then my sister laughed, soft, entitled, confident. She doesn't need to know yet. She always complicates things. Mom chuckled. It's family land. She has no choice. A pause. Then satisfaction. They believed I was just a spectator in my own life. I pushed the door open. They froze. I smiled. Okay, I said, do whatever you want. And they believed me. Of course, they did. I had been trained well. Long before the vineyard, before the money, before the patience, I was quiet, observant, invisible. But who taught me silence? My ex-husband, the man who spent years dismissing my dreams as cute, the same man who withdrew first emotionally, then physically. Late nights, early mornings, phones face down, unknown numbers calling. Until one night, he whispered a name in his sleep. My sister. The shock didn't shatter me. It honed me. I didn't yell. I didn't confront. I planned. I mapped the patterns, the dates, the disappearances. I stitched it together like a surgeon closing a wound, sharp and precise. When I left him, I said nothing about her. I let him believe he had won. He didn't know I had taken his place in the company we built. He didn't know the board favored me. He didn't know I was waiting for the right moment. Now it was happening again. Betrayal. Different faces, same arrogance. They wanted my vineyard. Fine, they could have it for one day. But they would pay the cost. I spent weeks preparing. Permits in my name, county approvals, event documentation only I could revoke, bookings for everything they expected and everything they didn't. Security, legal observers, auction staff. This vineyard wasn't for stealing. It was for selling on my terms. And I was ready. The day came like a storm draped in perfume. 300 guests wandered my land, drinking my wine, laughing like it was theirs. My mother moved proudly among them. My sister twirled in pink, feigning innocence. And there, my ex-husband, adjusting his tie, as if he hadn't once promised he'd never set foot here again. When I stepped onto the stage, the chatter faded. I let the silence stretch until it became heavy. Thank you all for coming. I began. My family has planned a beautiful ceremony today. Mom smiled. My sister beamed. He straightened. But before we begin, there's something you should know. A murmur passed through the crowd. This vineyard, I said slowly, deliberately, is being sold today. The auction starts in 5 minutes. My mother's smile faltered. My sister blinked. He paled. I didn't pause. Every right, event, land, business, was mine to grant, and I had granted nothing. You assumed I would stay silent. You forgot who taught my silence. Security moved guests gently but firmly. Auctioneers stepped forward. My lawyer handed me the final documents. My sister stumbled toward me. Wait, you can't. You promised. Okay, I said, and I meant it. Everyone, enjoy the final hour. After that, the vineyard would belong to someone else. My ex-husband stared, awe and fear mixing across his face. Finally, he understood. I wasn't her replacement. I wasn't a passive observer. I was the one in control. When the auction ended, I walked the vineyard alone. I felt no sadness, only freedom. The land wasn't the victory. The silence was. The silence they never expected me to break. Precision, not chaos. Calm, not fury. That was my revenge. And today it was flawless.